Hello, EDUC 6116. I just want to apologize in advance for the kind of crappy quality of this video. It's filmed on my phone while I'm hiding from my children in my bedroom because we are in lockdown again in Newcastle, so that's fun. So the article that I picked is a bit topical for this summary and this opinion. I went with the COVID-19 School Leadership in Disruptive Times by Harris and Jones. So this article was written almost a year ago in September of 2020, and it's an editorial. So important to note, I guess, that lots of author opinions were thrown in there. And they begin by discussing the pros and cons of schools reopening, particularly in the UK, where the article's written, and in the US, where they were dealing with particularly bad outbreaks of COVID-19 at the time. They note that school leaders are sort of walking a tightrope in those scenarios. You know, do we reopen or not? And they say that, you know, there's no course on leading a school in a pandemic, which is definitely true. There's none available that I know of. The authors offer sort of 7 ideas about school leadership and sort of what school leaders need to do during this time. Some of these include, they say things like relevant leadership training, you know, anything that was available pre-COVID-19 kind of needs to be thrown out. It's no longer relevant. We need new training programs to equip leaders with strategies for an ongoing COVID situation. They say that, you know, school leaders must prioritize self-care, which I definitely agree with. That's very important. School leaders need to be technology savvy, and school leaders will need to create a culture of collaboration amongst their staff. And also that school leaders need to maintain and prioritize maintaining community engagement during the COVID-19 pandemic, which I definitely think is very important. Sorry, I'm just having a look at my notes. Can't commit it all to memory. They end by saying that a new order has emerged in which no leadership standards, no preparation or development of programs, and no inspection framework, no KPIs, and no benchmarks exist. You know, and that everything basically needs to be redefined in a post-COVID-19 era, I suppose. Now, what I agree with out of that is not a heap. I think hindsight being 2020, no pun intended, we've got a vaccine now. We sort of are seeing a light at the end of the tunnel. But even those 7 suggestions, I kind of take issue with a couple of them. You know, they say self-care must be prioritized by school leaders. I think that's absolutely true, but school leaders also need to encourage their staff to prioritize self-care as well. And they don't really even mention that, which I thought was really odd in the self-care blurb. School leaders need to be technology savvy. Everyone working in the educational setting, not just school leaders, needs to be technology savvy. And that was a pre-COVID-19 thing as well. You know, I've been teaching for 10 years, and I don't think a single job advert that I've ever seen advertised has ever said or has ever omitted that someone needs to be technology savvy. So, you know, yes, of course we need to be technology savvy, but that's existed in the educational realm for years, not just because of a COVID-19 thing. School leaders will need to create a culture of collaboration amongst staff. I think if you're a good school leader, you were doing that pre-COVID-19 anyways. And community engagement, same thing. If you're a good and effective school leader, you were doing that pre-COVID-19 as well. You know, the way that they're saying this is a completely new realm. I mean, it certainly is different. But I wouldn't say that, you know, no standards, no KPIs, no benchmarks before this have ever existed. That's not true. We've had online learning platforms before this. You know, we have Khan Academy is a super popular one. There's other, you know, K-12 online academy. That's also, you know, something that I've looked at, and it looks like it's a really robust online learning platform. So it's not that we can't learn online, it's just that maybe we might just need to tweak our thinking, particularly if we've never ventured into that space. But definitely the platforms exist to be able to do it. You know, so I think, yeah, those are my kind of my thoughts on that. And I've gone way over the time limit, so I think I'll stop now. Thanks for listening. Bye.